Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies with your host, Jason Marshall.
Welcome to the show the girl just said the name of. I'm the guy the girl just said the name of. And this week, if you're expecting the guest that I said who would be on last week, he is not here. If you'd like to know who no-showed the show, listen to last week's episode. Because I am not going to say that. I think it would be unprofessional if I mentioned that Mike Morris wasn't here today. So I won't. In his place, and before I introduce him, I'm sorry, Dave Prague.
I hate you most of all.
But Mike didn't realize he had some plans with his girlfriend today, and, I can't say I blame him. She went out and rented a nice hotel for him out of town, and a lot of good stuff. So I don't want this show to cause trouble with people's relationships. So how you doing, Dave?
I'm fine. You kidnapped me to show up, so I'm a little mad about that, but I'm fine other than that. Can I take the bag off my face now? I've been to your house. I know where we are.
You remember all the twists and turns on the way here from Dayton?
Yes. And did you have to drive through every pothole? At some point, we went in the wrong direction for 6 miles just because there was a big one you kept telling me about.
Right off the bat, I want to get into something that we haven't talked about a lot on the podcast since the first few episodes. That's Domino's Pizza. Now they're delivering Domino's through Canoe in the UK.
It's a very wet country.
It's
actually a series of countries, but whatever.
I thought that was very odd. There is just this crying out of people who live on the river who just have to have Domino's, but they'd be damned if it's it's going to be driven to them.
Well, have you ever had Domino's pizza? At least it won't be dry now.
I feel bad for the guy who has to deliver the pizza. I mean, it's a canoe. The guy has to row. It's not a boat.
There's no top to the canoe, so you got to hold the sign up as you row.
Well, they came out with a delivery system. It's a thing that will keep it airtight. So
delivery system. You hand it to somebody.
But it's this box or something to make sure it doesn't get wet. Maybe you should work on if you put half of the effort into all the stupid shit you do into your pizza, you'd be number one by now.
Well, listen, you have to make sure Domino's Pizza stays, because if Domino's Pizza falls, then Pizza Hut, then Little Caesars, because once the first domino falls, they all go down.
I just thought that was the stupidest thing. I mean, if you live on the river, I guess it's great. I just think it's an odd thing to do.
I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. I was just thinking to myself how great that domino joke was.
I don't know. It's a weird world out there.
Yes, and not just because of pizza.
No. What's the weirdest thing you've ever stolen? Have you stolen anything crazy?
It's the weirdest thing I ever stole?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I've stolen a lot of really weird things just to say I did it. You're going to have to come back to me. I honestly don't know.
To be honest, I'm not sure either. I'm trying to think of something, but nothing's coming to mind. But in California, this woman, she had her house stolen.
Oh.
She was building a
tiny... Was it on Columbus Day? Did a guy just show up and plant a flag and said, I own this now?
No, she was building you've seen the tiny houses? Mm-hmm. She was building one of those, or having one of those built for her.
Right.
And somebody pulled up with a truck while she was out walking her dog and just took it. They found it like a couple of blocks down. Apparently they didn't have what they needed to tow this thing home. Or maybe they just gave up because they didn't know where they were going to store a tiny house.
Well, they went in and realized, I don't want to live here. Everything's so cramped.
I just couldn't believe that, man. That would be kind of jarring to come home and you don't have a home because somebody drove off with it.
I also have to say, I was looking up like obscure third parties in the U.S., and there's a pirate party, and
Really?
I was really excited for that, and then I looked into it, and it's just about stealing stuff online. They're just internet pirates.
Is that real?
Yes, that is a real thing.
And it's a political party.
It's a political party. They have a more thought-through platform than the legalized marijuana party. It really just has that one thing. I'm pretty sure they were going to come up with a big platform, and they got high and forgot to do the rest of it.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on out there as far as political things go.
Let's just talk about the third parties. The major parties make me sad.
Yeah, even the little parties do. I'm really over politics. This is a shitty year, and seems like that's all anybody wants to talk about, which is why I've tried my hardest to avoid talking about it on this show. The last thing you need is somebody else's opinion.
Sorry, I'm still thinking of my sick domino joke.
Well, here's something to take your mind off of it. There was a babysitter. It was her first time babysitting, and she was watching the baby monitor, and she realized her niece was sleeping on her head, like doing a handstand or a headstand, and didn't really know how to handle it and started tweeting about it. I think that might not have been the first thing you should do. She was asking whether she should call an exorcist or not and making all these kind of lame jokes. It's not every day you hear of a little toddler sleeping on his head with his legs straight up in the air. Well, I guess it's a girl since it's her niece, but that's kind of a weird situation to be in. The fact that it's in a crib kind of makes it even creepier.
Well, I would disagree because the thing is you can lean on the walls of the crib to keep you upright. It takes a lot of work if you're asleep to do it in the bed. There's nothing to hold you up but yourself.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe it was just a viral ad for the Exorcist TV show they're making.
Have you seen that yet?
No.
I got it on my DVR, but
I've
I
never
haven't
seen the
watched
movie
it.
either, actually.
I haven't either.
It's like, I think for the last 15 years, I say, oh, this Halloween, I'm going to watch The Exorcist, and then I do something else.
I don't know. I'm not big into horror movies, even though I'm going to be on a horror movie review podcast tomorrow. And when it comes out, I'll let everybody know.
Is that going to be a review? I don't know, man. I'm not big into horror movies.
Nah, we're going to be going over a movie called Dark Skies. Well, we're going to keep things baby-related. There's a Chinese baby born with 31 fingers and toes.
Jesus, it's going to be even better than math now. I'm sorry, was that racist? Yes, a little bit.
I just envision this kid running, and you hear the cartoon sound. He's got 16 fingers and 15 toes, man. That's a lot. And apparently China's going to waive most of the fees as far as the surgery and help for the kid goes till it's 16. I thought that's pretty good. You don't hear too many kind things coming out of China. So the fact that they're taking care of the bill for something like that is pretty nice. Well, we're going to go to break real quick. We're going to play a segment by Kristina Hughes, totally from UK Today with ChooChoo Stu. But first, here's a song by Mike O'Connell.
There have been a lot of songs written about love. There have been a lot of songs written in hatred and in spite. But there's never been a song written about how cute I think Asian babies are. And who better to write and sing this song than the one who thinks they're so fascinatingly, adorably cute? Enjoy. I want an Asian baby from Korea or Japan, Vietnam, it doesn't matter, I just want it in my hands. But no one will let me play with their Asian baby. Maybe it's the mustache, maybe it's the way I dress, but every time I approach, the parents get so upset and they won't let me play with their baby. Do I have to steal one? Well, they seem to be always smiling, and their skin, it seems so soft. Want to look into their eyes and get back all the hope I lost. But no one will let me play with their Asian baby. Tell me this! Why won't you let me play with your Asian baby? Why won't you let me play with your Asian baby? Soft little Asian baby, I want to play with your baby. I think you have a special baby. I want to play with your baby. I think I have one more thing to say. I deserve an Asian baby from Korea or Japan. I swear I've been a good boy, just put it in my hands. But no one will let me play with their Asian baby. Baby, baby, Shankaranka Danta Asian baby. Baby, baby, Shankaranka Asian baby. Baby, baby, Shankaranka Asian baby. Baby, baby.
I just had a baby boy, as some of you may know. I enjoy being a mom, taking him along with me in his stroller on errands to the bank,
Starbucks.
An iced half-calf venti, octo shot, 3 pumps cinnamon dolce, extra whip.
And the grocery store. What I don't like are women who see my newborn and then think it's okay to ask me deeply, personal questions.
Oh, what a cute baby. Did you have a vaginal birth?
Oh my, what a sweet little child. Are you breastfeeding him? I had this one lady come up to me at the grocery store in the wine section. Trust me, you need wine when you have a baby. And she said, "You are so blessed to have a son. I bet you conceived him in the missionary position. Most boys are created that way, am I right?" Without hesitation, I told her, "No. I first got my man in the mood by giving him a blumpkin, which I then progressed into a rusty trombone. Then we made it to the bedroom for a double Cleveland steamer, and I finished him off with the reverse cowgirl. That's how you have a boy." Yeah, she was shocked. Lesson is, if you can't handle the answer, don't ask the question.
Clean up on aisle 5, please. Clean up on aisle 5.
And this week on Totally Fucked, police hunt a woman pictured having sex with a dinosaur at a children's park. Yes, you heard it right, folks, a dinosaur. It's one of those crimes which is going to be very difficult to explain to future employers after a woman was pictured having sex with a dinosaur. The woman was pictured during a sexual encounter on a headless baby T-Rex. Just to make things worse, it was circulated on media after the grim event on the Exmouth Dino Trail. One parent said, "I worry as children play with these dinosaurs. I was disgusted. I feel sick to think that children are anywhere near that." The organiser of the Exmouth Dino Trail, John Thorogood, told the X to Express, "I saw the image on social media and I was completely disgusted by it." Whilst we have had some deliberate damage to the dinosaurs in the past weeks, this episode brings things to an all-time low as far as these important and very popular assets to our town are concerned.
Do you have an impression request for Marco Fuji or just want to contact the show? Send an email to jason@wedon'thavecookies.com.
You can also call 929-266-9342 and leave a voicemail. Speaking of which, we have a listener voicemail this week, and it's from Mike Zucki. So we're going to go ahead and listen to that. I'll probably cut it off somewhere in there. We'll talk about it and play the rest because it's about 2 minutes or so.
Hey, it's Mike Ookies again with the militant wing of Keyboarder. Different company, more aggressive sales tactic and delivery. Now, new company means new and exciting cookies. We have the TNT cookie. It'll explode in your mouth, not in your hand. It's dynamite. We have the lemon explosion. When God gives you lemons, make cookies. We also have the jalapeno delight. It's our hottest cookie, both in sales and spiciness. We have the redacted cookie. May or may not be different than the mystery cookie. Not at liberty to say. We also have the Fight Club cookie. Due to cross-promotion with the film, the cookie is delicious. However, we can't talk about it. It's bad for marketing. So they didn't sell very well. And we also have the plain cookie, which is just a two-dimensional cookie. It's basic geometry.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there where he went over the various cookies to sell.
He does know he's talking about the Fight Club cookies, right?
I like the lemon cookie. If life hands you lemons, make cookies.
That was a pretty good one. I liked the redacted cookie, which may or may not just be the mystery cookie again.
I like that too. And the jalapeno cookie, you can put me down for a box of those. I love jalapenos.
I don't know. They'd be sweet and spicy, I guess.
And I'm glad he went over the plain cookie.
Yeah, because you were curious about the plain cookie.
Yeah.
I might get a couple of those. I'd love a cookie that breaks the simple laws of our three-dimensional universe.
All right, we're going to go back to the voicemail.
Now our deal of the week is if you get a box, 4 boxes even, of any of these cookies, we'll throw in a free box of Fight Clubs. I have a warehouse of these cookies. We'll send you a free case even. You don't even have to buy any other cookies. If you would like to acquire any of these cookies, as always, just light a lantern. Oh, I'm told lanterns are no longer a thing because of apparent fires. So use a spotlight. It works for Batman. Just use a silhouette of your favorite cookie. We'll see it. And airdrop the goods in right to you. Have a lovely day. Bye.
I think the silhouette of the cookies will all look the same.
I was thinking the same thing.
Just a spotlight. Well, frankly, it'll just look like a spotlight with like the light missing out of the middle of these cookies around. And also, if I want a plain cookie, how do I put the silhouette of a two-dimensional object? Do I just put a line in the middle of the light?
I like how he said if you buy 4 boxes that you get a free box of Fight Club cookies.
That was pretty good.
And he has a whole warehouse of cookies. And then he's just like, you know what? I'll just send you a free case.
He's got a warehouse full of these cookies.
Oh, shit. That cracked me up. Thanks for sending that in. Okay. Well, it's time for questions from last week's guest. The question is, would you like to be a part of the 1,000 Foot Club, or are you already part of the 1,000 Foot Club? I know there's a Mile High Club, but I'm trying to make my question more Ohio accessible.
That last part felt more like a statement and less of a question. I agree. Well, I only have the 2 feet right now, so I don't know what I would do another 998 feet, but run really fast, I suppose. Switch them out when one gets worn down. Not.
You sound like that Chinese baby.
Maybe the Chinese government will pay for me, too.
I feel like you're avoiding the question.
Well, I was giving an answer. I was just giving a surreal answer. Would I join the 1,000 Foot Club? Well, I have to look and see who the last week's guest was before I volunteer, because I think I'm supposed to join with them.
Oh, no, I don't think that was implied, but what would the 1,000 Foot Club be?
Having sex at 1,000 feet.
Well, of course, but like, where would that be at? Like, I'm trying to think of something that's about that height. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what they were going for.
Are you supposed to just like walk up a hill until you're 1,000 feet and just do it in the street? I don't get it.
I don't know.
Do I have to find 1,000 feet and just go to the nearest house? Hi, I'd like to have sex in your house now.
You just have to get a helicopter and just be like, hey,
just
I want a very specific height. Me and my wife are going to
I'm going to go in the back of the helicopter. Don't look.
Well, this is going to be a shorter than usual show because the rest of my questions were for my guest that I thought would be here. But
well, that's fine. I got to get home and set up my spotlight. So,
well, one thing I did want to talk about,
I'm getting me some Fight Club cookies.
One thing I did want to talk about with Mike was the last show that I went to was the one that he put on at Murray's.
Okay,
and that was a hell of a good show. So, big ups to Mike for putting on that show. I had a great time. I wish you would have been here to talk about it because he's got another one coming up. I'm not exactly sure on what the date is. I think there will be another episode out before that comes up. So if you live in the Dayton area, I'll try to have that information for you next time. So we're just going to get straight into this week's Dumbass of the Year. This week it comes from the UK. A clumsy customer busts $6,000 worth of TVs at a British store. He was looking at a television, accidentally knocks it over, and it knocks over the next television, and he steps back in shock and knocks over 2 more.
But see, we talked about this. You knock one domino over like the pizza, they all fall down. I feel like if that happened to me, I would just go, well, I don't want these. They don't seem stable, and just walk away.
I would feel pretty stupid. That's why you're this week's Dumbass of the Year.
Honey, I won an award. Maybe I can parlay that to pay off these $6,000 of broken televisions we now own.
You know what? I need to do that. Get like little trophies and just plain trophies, nothing written on them. And then every time I put out a This Week's Dumbass of the Year, I try to find out what their address is and actually send them an award. That would be great.
That would.
Well, do you got anything you want to plug? Any social media sites or anything?
No.
Well, I want to thank everybody for spreading the word for the show, especially in the UK, because I just realized we've been downloaded in every region there, and that feels pretty damn good, so I wanted to thank you for that. And please go to wedon'thavecookies.com, scroll to the bottom of the homepage, and just donate $1. When you do the donation, there's a little thing where you can option to make that a monthly reoccurring donation. You'll never miss $1, and it would go a long way to help the show, so really appreciate it if you did that, and I think that's it for this week. So I'll talk to you guys next Monday.
Thanks for listening. Tell your friends about the show and leave a review.
Before I introduce him, I'm sorry.